Hello everybody, what's up and welcome to the channel where we learn to be true heroes in the world of Overwatch. Today I have another VoD review, and this one was sent in by a player named Rivai. So he's playing McCree, we're on Dorado, and he asks, how do I position myself to have more impact for my team? How do I be safer with my positioning? Genji is a big issue for me. I struggle to play against him. Any tips? He also asks if his aim is bad. Alright, well I think we'll find out. Thank you, Rivai, for sending this in. So we're up here poking, doing some normal stuff. Nothing too exciting. Missed the flashbang, but get a nice headshot on the Tracer, so that's quite good. And right now we're in a good position because the Tracer's gone, there's no one to contest, and he's just sitting up here. He can shoot as much as he wants. But he drops down! That was such a good position. So if we look, we can easily shoot this entire area. And then once they cross underneath the bridge, now you don't need to shoot them under the bridge. You can just wait till they cross over, and once again, we can shoot this entire area. So this is a great spot for McCree, as long as you don't have any pesky flankers up here trying to kill you, or maybe a Roadhog or something. But he was quite safe. He could have just stayed up here and shot from this great position. But he didn't wind up doing that. Instead, he drops down, and we can see actually how dangerous this is. There's a Genji over here. Reinhardt can just turn around, slap him in the face. There's an Ana who can turn around, sleep him, smack him in the face. Even the Mercy. Fortunately, he's going to get some help from his buddy Reinhardt here, who gives nice charge on the Mercy. But more or less, Rivai is pretty lucky that he's alive here. Mostly just his team distracting. So we're gonna hunt down the Ana, and we're gonna shoot her. And we're gonna shoot her. And it, not Rivai, not that way. We're not going to shoot her that way. But in all seriousness, obviously something went wrong here. Let's not bash him too much for it. So there's clearly something wrong with his aim. So for his question, is my aim poor? There is some sketchiness I've been seeing with the aim. But how exactly? Why is he aiming badly? We'll see more as the game progresses, because there's lots of different ways you could be aiming poorly. So anyway, he sees the Tracer, comes down here. Now we're a little bit dangerous, but he does wind up getting the Tracer. He gets the Tracer here. Now there's lots of people over here. There's a Roadhog, a Reinhardt, a Mercy, probably a Genji. There's lots of people up here waiting to do all sorts of nasty things to McCree. So at this point, you got the Tracer. That was really good, but let's back off. Back off here. So remember, McCree is a mid-range hero. He's not close range. He's not necessarily long range, but he certainly is mid-range. And here you can see that he's a little too close. So even though he's safe for now, he's not doing much damage or anything because he's too worried about staying safe. So eventually he pokes out here, winds up killing the Roadhog, but puts himself in bad enough of a position by doing it that he winds up dying fairly easily. So the Reinhardt simply snacking him in the face. So we just heard the Ana ult. There's a big fight clearly happening somewhere down here. He can see his little arrows, which are his teammates down here. They're clearly doing something fighty related. There's people over here, and Rivai is not in it. So McCree is the main DPS for a team, 99.9% of the time. So a team without their primary DPS is probably a team that's going to be having trouble on average. So he should have probably just chilled here, but he's going to come around, and let's see what he does. So we're here, and there's a problem with this position. At this point in the game, the issue with this position is that it's still too close. This is actually not that safe. You have the high ground, but lots of the Ana can sleep you, the Ana can shoot you, Roadhog can hook you, Genji can climb up there, kill you. Lots of bad stuff can happen up on this platform. At this stage in the game where the team is pushed into this area, sure, in the early stages when they're back here it's great, but here they're a little too close. And we're going to see just a crazy hook from the sky from Roadhog. But even if it wasn't an insane, ridiculous hook like this, he would have gotten hooked anyway. So he gets revived, he's a little bit too close, backs off, very smart, but then goes back in, giving Tracer an easy sticky bomb. So let me elaborate a little bit more on what I mean with McCree and range. So McCree's effective range is approximately 20 meters. After that he starts falling off, but it's really not until a little bit further back that he starts falling off to the point that he does a lot less damage. So you always want to be staying within this general range, and you really want to practice your aim a lot in this range, because this is the range that McCree is most effective. Compared to other heroes, McCree is strongest at this mid-range. So if the fight's happening in this area, which it was in the clip we just saw, a good way to visualize it would be, well, if we stand here, this was about the center of the fight, And we draw an imaginary circle, in this case a handy dandy yellow circle, and this is approximately 20 meters. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. Approximately 20 meters. Anywhere along this line is about the optimal spot for McCree to be standing. Now you can see that this is too close. You'd have to be standing back here, but of course you can't really stand back here because now you can't see. So really, the best place for McCree in this position is back here in this area. Maybe even up here on this ledge is actually okay, because you can always escape if you want to, or escape back as well. So pretty much our only options are here and here as far as really optimal positions go, where you can be sure you're pretty safe while still being able to deal a decent amount of damage. But of course, in this case, for McCree, I think just peeking this building like this would have been the best position. I think this is just the best position in general when dealing with any fights at the choke point around here. Now, if they're closer up, obviously you're further back. You can peek this corner instead, or maybe even statue. So always try to find that angle. Try to find that cover that puts you at that optimal 20 to 25 meter range that McCree is best at. But moving right along, we see that the other team managed to break through, and so Raivai, our hero, is backing off and going to find a nice cozy space for himself. So remember, the last fight, he was pretty much ineffective because he wasn't actually a part of the fight for a good majority of it. And here we're going to see again that he puts himself in a position where he can't really be a part of the fight. So we can see that this is actually too far. The 20 meter range ends about here. And the fight, if you look at all the little handy dandy arrows, one of the best tools you have when playing this game, by the way, the fight is going to be happening over here, where his best range stops back here. So he's not going to be very effective, plus he can't shoot through the wall, and it's not a very short trip to get there either. He's doing this to try to set up a big play ultimate. Hopefully they're not going to see him, but if the ultimate doesn't work out, he's pretty much not going to do anything. So the Ana ult comes out from the other team. He pops his ultimate, winds up getting nothing but 20 HP on a tracer. So you can see that the fight has been happening this entire time. His team just got wrecked by a Roadhog that he would have been able to flashbang if he was there. And now he's going to make his long march back to where the fight should be. So this takes about 5 seconds for him to do. He sees a Genji here that he says he has a problem with. Winds up getting a nice flash on him, but just misses the shot. So it's whatever. It was a hard shot. Genji ultimate is pretty difficult to deal with, but the main thing is that he just wasn't in the fight. Now, on the topic of Genji, Genji is a hero that McCree should have an easy time dealing with, and in fact, it's kind of your job to deal with the Genji in general. One of the key things you have at your disposal is that flashbang. Flashbang is something you have to use. You have to use it, obviously, but you should try to save it when possible for specifically heroes like Genji and Tracer. You really should be trying to save it. So here, you don't really get much value out of the flashbang just flashing this Reinhardt, and it's going to result in a few seconds. The Genji comes up diving him. Now imagine if he had flashbang here, it would have been basically an easy kill because he shot him there, flashbang, headshot, Genji's dead. And it just takes saving your flashbang and not using it in scenarios that it really isn't needed in. So he gets revived. That's pretty cool. They wind up pushing the other team back, but you can see that the other team took the checkpoint. So this means that Raivai's team should be getting back at this point. Oh, well, I mean, I guess get the free kill on the Reinhardt, whatever. Maybe push him off, get a couple extra kills. But at this point, it's we're pretty much done. We've got enough. We can back off now. And there is something to be said for following your team. You should be supporting them in whatever they try to do, even if you don't always agree with it. But Raivai here takes it a little bit too far. Remember, the other team already has the checkpoint. Their spawn point is right over there. So again, we wind up killing the Ana. That's great. We still have support. We're going to probably wind up killing the Roadhog as well. Get a headshot maybe. There it is. That comes out. And at this point, I think we've done enough. I think we're okay. We should probably just get out. Instead, he's going to wind up using his ultimate. Remember, he's basically in the other team's spawn. The other team's spawn is right over here. So just take this as a lesson, is don't be too aggressive when the other team's spawn is right over there. They're going to get some more kills, but it's not going to really mean much. All it's going to do is wind up getting them picked off because, like I said, they're in the enemy spawn. And it's not just him. His team's doing it too. He's following his team. and that's okay. But there are times when you just have to let your team die. And when they're diving the enemy spawn, that's probably one of those times, but not too big of a deal. We can still reset, no problem, and put up another defense. So we're about to have a fight, try to defend the point again, and in this fight, he happens to be in that well, he's going to move up to around here, but once he gets there, he's in that 20-meter sweet spot for this fight. And remember, same player, same aim, but let's see how this works out for him. Remember, the first time this entire game he's been in this sweet spot, basically, of McCree's range, and he's going to get a lot of really nice hits on the Roadhog, and then he's going to pressure the Ana to hide, and then he's going to get a really nice ultimate off as well. Plus he's getting a lot of damage on the Reinhardt. He gets 69%. So that was actually a great fight for Rivi. He did a lot that fight. That was very good. Mostly because of the positioning and where he is. Positioning is huge. Even if you have really good aim, which Rivi does not actually have really good aim, having a bad position can make you less effective than someone with mediocre aim who has a really great position. So you can see now, he asked about his aim a little bit, and let's take a second to look at his aim. We can see here, he's trying to shoot at the Zarya. Now the Zarya is not moving very much. Zarya is not a very fast, mobile hero. She's pretty much just moving in a straight line in one direction, not being a big deal. Now, if you've been really paying attention, which, that's my job, I've been paying attention this match, Rivi has been doing these weird, wavy, flicky sort of motions with his aim that is less quote-unquote flick aiming and more just a bad habit. And so we're going to see it with Zarya here. Now, his cursor is on Zarya. He could just be like, all right, my cursor's on you, I'm going to click. But instead, he moves it off to do a little flick every time. He keeps going onto the Zarya and then flicking away. And that's a bad habit that comes from bad aim practicing, trying to be Taimu, trying to do all these crazy exercises. They don't help if you're not on that level. So my suggestion to Rivi, and they do wind up winning, which is good, I guess. I suggest that Rivi take a step back, work on his fundamentals again, get rid of this bad habit. And in fact, I just made a video recently on aiming and fundamentals and how to practice and get rid of those bad habits. So go ahead and check it out. I don't have quite enough time to go into a giant dissertation about aiming in just a simple VoD review, so that's why I made that sort of supplementary video. And just one more example before we're done, we can see that it's a stationary target. His crosshair is pretty much already on the Ana. Like, if he were to shoot right now, that would be a body shot. But instead, he keeps flicking up, flicking off, flicking on, flicking off. If you look at it again without me pausing. See, he flicks off, and he winds up missing because of that. And that's not quote-unquote flick aiming. That's not being like Taimu. That's just a bad habit. You shouldn't be doing that. So if you are interested in aim, fundamentals, getting better at aiming, I do suggest that you check out that video that I posted, kind of inspired by this video, but I've been getting a lot of McCree VoDs specifically, and a lot of them mention aim. So I figured that I would do a video just on aim because I get so many questions about it. But anyway, I think that's it for this video. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you enjoyed, maybe even had a little bit of fun. So good luck in solo queue. Have a great night, and peace out, guys.